Hello and welcome to another video with me, Joe from J.H.Leather. Today we'll be learning how to make belts. Okay, so first we're going to have to set the strap cutter. So I'm making a 1 1/4 inch belt, so I'm setting mine to 1 1/4 inch. If you're making a slightly bigger or slightly smaller belt, just set it to sort of the width that you're doing. And then you want to cut your leather. Okay, so when you're cutting with the strap cutter, you want to keep it pushed into the leather just so it doesn't slip off, and making sure that it's nice and straight. So once you've cut your leather strip, you want to search for the best end, and once you've found the best end, you will then cut your egg point. So when you're cutting your egg point, remember you can mark out sort of like we showed you in one of our earlier videos, or you can just, if you got the hang of it, go freehand. And you don't have to cut an egg point, you can cut whatever sort of point you like. I prefer egg points and belts, so that's why I use sort of that point. So once you've cut your egg point and you're happy with it, you want to mark out for holes. Now I like my first hole to start 2 inches from the end of the belt, so I've marked that out, and now I'm setting my dividers to 1 inch, and I have them 1 inch apart, and I put 9 holes on my belts. Obviously if you're making it for yourself, you know sort of how many holes you want, so you can put in as many or as few as you like. Okay, so once you've marked your holes, you want to mark the overall length of your belt to the middle hole. So what I've done here is I've put the tape measure to the middle hole as to sort of what I want. I think I made this one 38 inches, so 38 inches was the middle hole. And then you just mark a little line across the end of the leather where the sort of the ruler finishes, and then sort of mark it out nicer with your set square. Once you've done that, you want to mark to the end of your point. So again, I add about 2 inches here. Again, with the set square, straight edge, cut it off, and then make another egg point. Okay, so once you've cut your second egg point, you want to edge the belt. So I use the number 1 edge tool. Now I did get in the way here, but I've added a little inset so you can see what it was supposed to look like. So basically you want to edge sort of all the way around the grain of your belt with your edge tool. You can use a larger one if you want. I like the number 1, but if you want a rounder edge, you can use a larger edge tool for that. So like I said, you want to mark edge all the way around the grain, and then on the flesh, you want to mark out where your turn is, so you don't edge under that, just so it's nice and flat once you've stitched it. So here I am just marking out where the turn is, and then edge the whole of the rest of the belt. So now your belt has been edged, it's now ready for staining. So you just want to stain all the edges. So I use a powdered stain with a sort of cloth to sort of polish it. You can also use your bone to polish it, and yeah, just all the way around the edge you go on both sides. So here I'm using the cloth to just polish the edges of my leather. Again, here you can use the bone if you want to, and you just want to get them nice and smooth and shiny. Okay, so once you've finished polishing the edges, I do tend to sort of push my bone just over the top, just in case they've curled over a bit. You can just smooth them down. So once you've done polishing, you want to get your crease heater sort of on and warm your crease up. Now I use this sort of electric hob. I find it easier than sort of gas tools, and I use it a lot with my sort of embossing tools. So you just want to put your your creaser on there just to warm up enough. You don't want it too hot because it can burn the leather. So once it's hot enough, you just sort of run it down both edges of your belt on the grain side. So if you need to heat up your crease again in between during each side, that's fine. Just make sure it's not too hot. Like I said earlier, it can burn the leather if it is too hot. Okay, so once you've done with the creasing, we will be punching the crew hole. Now I use the dividers just to mark out either side of the sort of centre line that we drew earlier where the crew's going to sit, just because it's easier then to get it straight in the centre. So when you're using your dividers, if they are sort of too wide or too narrow to start with when measuring up to the crew hole, just adjust them and sort of redraw the lines on. So once you're happy with how your lines are, you just want to hit that crew punch all the way through your leather. Okay, now we've punched the crew, you just want to take out the back with the number 6 eggs tool. This just sort of lets the buckle tongue sit a bit nicer sort of in the turn. Right, so that's it for part 1 of belt making. For part 2 and part 3, please click the videos on the right hand side of your screen. Thank you very much for watching, and if you liked the video, please click the thumbs up button and subscribe for more videos and tutorials.